Well, there was a time not that long ago that my life felt empty. I had struggled with weight issues for over 20 years. I was alive, but I wasn't really living. I was just going through the routine. I was empty inside. So I had tried every diet under the sun. I'd gone vegetarian. I starved myself for days, more than 2, 3 days, sometimes 4. And basically what it led to was I would end up binging and be out of control, and then feel frustrated and feel self-pity, and then starve myself again and continue this cycle. At the time, I thought I was desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and basically I was frustrated, I was sad, I was angry even, I'd say. Like I was in a hamster wheel, getting nowhere fast. I would lose weight and then gain whatever I lost plus more. So it's just, my weight kept steadily climbing regardless. Over the years, after trying so many different diets, led to malnutrition, especially when I became a vegetarian. I was not getting the protein that I needed. So I was a vegetarian, or when I was starving myself, I wasn't getting what I needed. My hair started falling out. I even had like a bald spot in the front of my hair. I mean, not only was I feeling weak, tired, frustrated, but on top of that, I was going bald. I was put on blood pressure medicines because my blood pressure was high, and hypertension, that leads to heart problems. And anyway, I started having chest pains and heart palpitations, and ended up in the emergency room. Thank goodness they referred me to a cardiologist, and I requested my medical records. Right? Really, what drove the nail in the coffin for me, what was my wake-up call, was when I looked at my medical records that I had to take the cardiologist. And I looked at those records. They had my name on it, and the way that I was described was 40-year-old female, morbidly obese. I was floored. I can't even tell you how I felt. I could not believe that they were talking about me. That they were talking about me as morbidly obese. And when I think of the word morbid, it means death. I was so fat, I was killing myself. I was killing myself in fat, and drowning in fat. And I have children, and I wanted to live, and I wanted to be around for a long time. So, at this point, I'm 324 pounds with a BMI of 52.1. I'm a class 3 morbidly obese female. It's a long haul. I mean, at that point, seriously, I just losing any weight at all just seemed so hard. Being over 300 pounds, it didn't feel like being within a normal weight range was ever going to be within my reach. Well, I knew I had to do something, and through a whole series of fortunate events, and events that at the time I didn't think were fortunate, but they are. They saved my life. Basically, I was introduced to Binge and his program, Titan Transformation. I was scared. I was intimidated. When I sat down with Ben, what was very different right away, the program itself, was not just, oh, this is what you eat and this is the exercise you do. It was, these are the affirmations. You're going to read these affirmations. You're going to write, and you're going to have journal. And that journaling part was really the key that helped me resolve a lot of issues. My first workout day, all that's going through my head is, what the f*** is this? Is this man crazy? I can't do this. There's no way that I could see myself doing any of that stuff. I was fat and obese and weak. Truthfully, I was like, let me try another day. Let's see what happens. Let me give it another day. But I don't know if I can do this. I was cursing a lot because I thought that it was insane, and all the stuff he showed me was alien to me, totally alien. Okay, the end of that first week, I had my first real taste of success. After making it through the first week and going through all those alien exercises and every day saying, what the is this? And is this man crazy? And is he trying to fucking kill me? And I had lost 26 pounds. 26 pounds in 1 week. That was like, to me, that was huge. I was like, okay, this man is not totally crazy. This must work. And I was succeeding. I had lost 26 pounds in 1 week. You know, that's huge. Even though I still had lots to lose, it gave me a sense of victory, and that, yeah, maybe this works and I can do this. Let's try another week of this. Week 2 kicked my ass. That's what happened. Week 2 kicked my ass. Week 2, the exercises ramp up considerably. I think I left the gym that day and I was like, oh my, this man is crazy. He really is trying to kill me. But I said, okay, we'll do another day. I really took it day by day. But and really at the end of that day, it's like, okay, I survived that day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Little by little, just congratulating myself on surviving. But then came week 3 and week 4, and the end of week 4 was my next weigh-in. But it strengthened my belief. At that point, I had lost 47 pounds. Lost like 14 inches, 47 pounds in a month. I mean, at that point, I'm like, oh, for sure this works. I was starting to believe. I think the affirmations helped me. There is a belief now. Okay, this works. I can do this. Week 8, I had lost 73 pounds in 2 months. That's huge. Talk about success. At that point, I had a big hiccup in my belief. I had done the success of, okay, I lost all this weight, 73 pounds, yay, I can do this. And then I had kind of previewed the exercises that would be coming in weeks 9 through 12, which is phase 2 of the Titan Transformation Program. They were for athletes. They were the kind of exercises that I would expect a person who's extremely athletic, who is a trained athlete, who's somebody who's been training for several years to be able to do. I was still Fat Anna. I had so much faith in weeks 1 through 8. So I wanted to go back and repeat several of the weeks and not proceed to week 9 at that point. Well, I asked Ben if I could go back, and he was not Mr. Understanding about it. I expected him to say, okay, yes, we can go back and get you stronger so that you can do week 9 through 12. He basically said, get over yourself, put on your big girl panties, and you're starting week 9. How dare he? I was fucking pissed. I wasn't extremely upset. I was fucking pissed. With all kinds of crazy thoughts going through my head. I truly didn't know if I even was going to go back to the gym, but then that anger kept going, and that anger actually helped fuel me. And at that point, there was like an inner raw kind of lioness starting to escape, because I had to show him 9. I mean, I think I attacked week 9 and made it through week 9 before proceeding to week 10. After the 12 weeks, I stepped on the scale. I was down 94 pounds in 3 months. So I felt successful. I knew the program worked. I was sold. At this point, my blood pressure medicine had been dropped down. I was feeling strong. I had dropped so many sizes. I didn't have any clothes to wear. I had to keep buying clothes because there's no way I could fit into my size 28s and 26s at this point. Well, at that point, my thought is like, I did 12 weeks. I can do another 12 weeks. At this point, yeah, I was greedy. I was like, look at how much I did in 12 weeks. I was greedy for success. My goals at this point became bigger because I knew that I could accomplish so much more. Probably a week off. And then I restarted the program. And, here I thought, okay, I've done this. Been there, done that. Except it wasn't any easier the second time around. No. At this point, I was much more comfortable with the actual exercises. I was also very familiar with the intensity scale that the program requires. So now that I knew that intensity, now that I knew proper form and what exercises to do, being at the intensity scale made it that much more difficult. You know, I remember saying, I don't remember it being this hard. It just seemed, every week I'd be like, I don't remember it being this hard. It just kept getting harder. But then again, I was lifting heavier, and I was pushing more. I was getting stronger because I was lifting harder, because I was now familiar with the exercises, and I was lifting at the intensity level that the program requires. My body was changing. I mean, I was losing inches in fat at like a phenomenal rate. I lost another 60 pounds, and I started seeing muscle, and you know, and I remember I would drive Ben crazy because I was always like, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to have big muscles like a man. And now that I started to see muscle definition, I started to see that muscle definition in a woman is beautiful. I was still a beautiful feminine woman with beautiful long lean muscles and definition. That was like the best way in ever. That was the best way in, because I think at that point, that way in at the end of the second 12 weeks is when I stepped on the scale, and that scale for the first time in over probably in 20 years that was under 200. You know, I just don't understand why the fuck I wasn't here before. I wish I would have known about the program or been ready in my head for the program earlier. Now I had much bigger goals. I wanted a lean, athletic body, and you know, now I knew that nothing was going to stop me. I could obtain it. After I did it a third time, I did it a fourth time. I've done it at least 5 times, and each time I feel more empowered. Each time I feel more athletic. Each time it gets harder. But each time I see huge changes in my body. Each time I see the tightening, the muscle definition. Each time reaffirms my belief in the program. Here, I went from being dead and not just going through the motion and to being so alive. I'm living. I feel so alive. That's the beauty of being empowered. I know that nothing can stop me. It's because I was that feeling of power, that feeling of strength. Because of that, you know, I did stuff that I never in my life would have dreamed of ever doing. I've taken on new challenges that I never even thought I would ever try. And every day that just reaffirms that the strength that the Titan program gave me, and every day there's new adventures and new things to accomplish and new things to try and to conquer. Because of Titan, you know, I've met, of course, other fellow Titans, and they're Titans at any gym all over the world. That's the beauty of the program. You can use it at any gym. All I want to do is spread the word. I mean, I feel so great. I feel so empowered. I feel so strong inside. I would like everybody to feel that same way. I don't think I could ever give up the feeling of power and strength that being a Titan gives me. I found what I needed. My body, my mind needed, my soul, because it wasn't just the exercises. It wasn't just that it told me what to eat. It was that it changed me from the inside, and that was reflected on the outside. I don't see that I'll ever go back to being obese. A beast, yes. Obese, never. That was 8 years ago. Well, 2010 was my first round of Titan. September 2011, I had dropped 175 pounds. Going to the gym became a lifelong habit. It's like brushing my teeth. I don't question whether I'm going to brush my teeth every morning. I don't question whether or not I'm going to the gym or whether I'm going to exercise every day. It's become part of my life. That's where this program is different, where Titan's different. Because if it wasn't different, I'd be back on that roller coaster. I was on that roller coaster for 20 years. 20 freaking years I was on that fucking roller coaster. And I lost huge amount of pounds, but gained it all back. But with Titan is the only time that I haven't gained it all back, or, you know, there's always obstacles. I had surgery at the beginning of 2018, which kept me away from the gym for quite some time. But my mindset, instead of reverting back to being fat again and letting it go, was, as soon as I was able to get back in the gym, get back to, where I was, work hard to get stronger again. So yeah, it definitely changed me forever, because it's that mindset of being fat or being obese is not there. That those actions that made me get to that point. After my surgery, I went back to my Titan workouts, back to my new roots, the new me, how the new me thinks, and went back to the gym and didn't gain it all back or get fat again and be content with staying obese. That's where the difference is. Your mindset training makes a difference so that you are no longer on that roller coaster, because it's in your head. You no longer think like a mere mortal, you think like a Titan.
If you just watch this video, it's probably because you're stuck. You're overweight, you wake up tired every day, you're in constant pain from all the weight that you're carrying around in your joints, and you're sick and tired of shopping in the plus size department, and you're looking for a way out. But the good news is you're in the right place at the right time, because you just found it. I'm Binge, and I help men and women lose large amounts of weight, 50, 80, 100 pounds or more. I help men and women whose weight is literally impacting their life. For example, the mom who has teenagers and she's never been able to ride a roller coaster with them because she just simply can't fit into the seat. Or the man or woman who has been married for 10 years and they can't remember the last time they've been truly intimate with their spouse because they're just not comfortable enough for themselves anymore. Or the executive who she knows she's been held back in her career because not only is the weight smothering her, but it's also smothering her self-confidence. If this sounds like you, then reach out to me and I'll get you back onto the path of greatness. But let me say, this is not for everybody. If you feel that you're going to lose 50, 60, 100 pounds by just sitting on your butt and not putting forth action, then this is not for you. This is going to take hard work on both of our parts, and you have to be ready for that. If you are a person who you know that you are ready to lose this weight and you are absolutely determined to lose that weight, then reach out to me. If you're determined, you're resourceful, you're coachable, then I'm your guy. If you're looking to just lose, 5 or 10 pounds and, you just want to be normal, then go get yourself a personal trainer, because this is not the person for you. But if you absolutely know that there is a better life, an amazing life that you should be living, and you want to release that God and goddess that's deep inside you, then reach out to me. I've attached a link to my calendar below, and I'll get on the phone with you and we'll figure out exactly where you're stuck at and how to get you from point A, where you are now, to point B, where you want to go. All right, guys, so click on the link below, set up an appointment with me, and let's see how we can unlock the inner goddess inside of you.